Ouch, to be young. Forever young. I want to be forever young. These words of an Alpha Wild song have felt anthemic far, far beyond their origin in 1984 West Berlin. They captured the vibe of all of modernity everywhere. Envy, age envying youth's energy, idealism, rebellion, and fearlessness. But with Gen Z, the digital natives, something is shifting profoundly. Now, 50 somethings look at 20 somethings less with jealousy, more with pity. Sure, they want the abs and acuity, acuity, skin and knees of younger persons. They are cracking the code to enjoy all this well past middle age. But younger persons themselves have never found it bleaker in living memory. Once the future was something Gen Next would shape, when their tomorrows look more endangered than our retirement, something's gone wrong. Scroll the headlines of country after country, and what do you see? Young people are not finding good jobs. They're losing the desire to have children. They're losing desire itself. They're quite quitting. India experienced the great resignation post COVID. The Japanese have hikikomori, withdrawing, often into a single room. Japanese have tangping, lying flat, plus bailan, letting it rot. Both fads rejecting the 996 rat race. What's also telling is how much Jonathan Hadett's book, The Anxious Generation, has touched the nerve across societies rich to poor. It's to do with smartphones, social media, and now AI fundamentally rewiring childhood and causing an epidemic of mental illness. The 4, 14, and 24 olds deeply immersed in digital lives reject face to face interactions. They are out of practice for real intimacy. Many Indians still dismiss such anxiety. They imagine loneliness as antonymic to crowdedness. Divine raps about being asked. पुरुष शेर मेरे साथ फिर अकेला क्यों पूरा शहर मेरे साथ पूरा शहर मेरे साथ फिर अकेला क्यों How can you feel alone in a city packed with millions? This could be the same who this could be the same people who boast that our youth joblessness is lower than global levels. What even they can deny is that India's 15 to 29 unemployment rate hovers 3 times higher than its elders. Over in America, recent college graduates are looking at job prospects that have never been worse compared to the average worker. Such a poor start may depress their careers and family formation, and even health for years. More shockingly, longevity economist Andrew Scott finds that the majority of job growth in rich countries for a decade has been from workers over 50. Chinese youth, too, are seeing both jobs and job quality fail, telling about 3.9 million signed up for the 2025 postgraduate entrance exam compared to the sub 2 million average in 2010. Just like their Indian peers, after long years of no play and all study, many find the work they do solely mismatched with the work to which they are tied. But one thing that sets their condition apart: Chinese youth don't have siblings. Economic insecurity hits harder when relationships are thinner. It's easy to feel stuck. There's pessimism about being able to break out of the condition one has inherited. The more pessimistic you're about changing your destiny, the less motivation there is to even change your address. Young people's world is, of course, being shrunk by anti-immigration politics. But internal migration is also trending down. In India, this is suggested by an EACPM paper based on railway, mobile roaming, and banking data. US's decline in mobility is starker, with the number of Americans who move every year at an all-time low. What's also lonesome is that the loss of confidence in the future is hitting young men and women differently. Politically, for example, they are leaning in opposite directions. This was mostly starkly seen in Germany's general election in Feb, where men aged between 18 to 24 voted for AfD while young women voted 35% for a far left party. Maybe the core dividend is that young women feel freer than their mother, while young men miss having their father's status. Plus, as the new coinages like manosphere to misogyny slope ecosystem underline, social media technologies have thinned out real, enduring connections, have also pulled the sexes apart. Digital segregation means the whole, youthful and poetic version of our love, let us be together to one, true to one another, while ignorant armies clash by night, is getting shredded. Perhaps worse, poetry writing itself is being outsourced to chatbots, just like student essays and romantic roleplay. This could turn out to be the surrender of humanity's superpower to the machine. An MIT study has found that ChatGPT use unintentionally hinders authentic engagement with written material and knowledge retention. Simultaneously, AI is crushing the half life of skills taught in college. It's alarmingly down to 2 years according to some hiring experts. True, crystal ball glazing is a mug's game. There are young people who training their algo thoughtfully. Instead of surrendering their brain to it, highly motivated learners are entooling AI like their parents did with computers and internet. Many are making a conscious effort to break the alone meals doom loop. They're ditching Fortnite and Netflix and Pornhub to go to movies hangout. Fathers who embrace children lovingly are making a world where women want to have more children. Still, yeah, it's not a party in the USA. Over the last 2 decades, Americans have cut the time they spend at social events by 50%. Since 2020, 37% of all UK clubs have shut down. Many Indians would point to big fat Indian weddings, etc., and say our country has an altogether different energy. What's worrying is how many of our young people are, cognitively and geographically, living less adventurous lives than their parents. The unsociable, could yet become the prevailing social value. Youth really is in danger of losing its vibe.